welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Vanessa. Nice of you to join me again today. Today we'll be discussing the 5 phases of a heartbreak. So yeah, many a times I'm actually feeling pressed to actually record this video because it's been sitting like on my mind and I've been thinking about it, but you know, just trying to avoid the thing because it's not really something that I've always wanted to talk about to anyone. But yeah, it's just something I'd like to put out there so that it's even easier for you, and I hope it's a little bit helpful on like how I got over, you know, my heartbreak. What I learned though, through everything is that I'm a very like sensitive person. I never thought I actually was, but I learned that yeah, I'm quite sensitive and quite emotional as well. I guess my femininity was coming out, so yeah, and I learned a couple of things about myself, that I cannot handle pressure and I can't handle comparison and that I can't handle pain, etc. So those are the little things that I actually learned out of this whole experience. So we're just going to talk about the phases that one would go through, like after a rough breakup or after just any breakup, especially if you know you're quite connected or you thought you were in a quite connected position with the person that you were with, because it's not always the case. Sometimes one person can be the only one who feels like attached to someone. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, I feel like it's something that I should talk about, and you know, it's hard, but I will talk about it just so that it's easier for you. Anyway, the steps that you go through, you know, when you get into your healing phase. When you listen to a lot of people and you ask for advice, especially from like our peers, our friends and everybody, they'll just tell you, you know, in order to get over someone, you need to get under someone. But it's not always the case, especially, you know, holding the moral values that, you know, each and every individual holds. You know, some people are for casual relationships and, you know, swapping of body fluids and all of that. It depends. Some of us have like a moral standard that we're like upholding to, so it's not as easy as, you know, as it is. And also, even if you get into that phase of the whole phase, what happens is you're going to meet someone who doesn't even have any real intentions of being with you, but just, you know, supporting you through your whole phase. And that commonly I think is not necessary. Like, who wants to be supported in their whole phase? But anyway, it's one of the healing phases that you know, modern day millennials go through. So number 1 would be the whole phase, where you're just like going out on crazy dates with everyone, just trying to fill the void and probably fornicating at the same time. Hence I'm saying it depends what kind of moral standards or values that you uphold. But in most cases, I guess people are fornicating at that time, and you know, going around and meeting different people, and maybe most likely we'll meet somebody who's special. It all depends, you know, on our life's journeys, whatever. So in my instance, I actually, you know, minimized the whole phase before it actually even like got to me. I thought, goodness, you know, I'm not that type of person, and you know, being the little lady that I am, I just didn't want to get into that. The next phase is space. It's always good to just tap into, get some space, and you know, recalculate your thoughts, and work on things that you saw could have been something that you don't want to inherit or carry over into your next relationship when you decide to get into a relationship, whatever. So it's good for you to just get some space, get thinking. With space and thinking comes the crying phase, which is quite hectic. Depending on, you know, or how platonic or how deep you are, or how emotional you are as well. If you're emotional like me, yes, you'll cry forever, but it kind of helps you heal. And you know, journaling as well, also something that actually worked for me. You write a lot, write letters, check pros and cons, what did I do wrong, how did I influence the situation, etc. And that kind of worked. And also you reevaluate if it's worth it to still be in contact with the person or to still be around the person. Are you going to come back with a different formula and get the same result type thing? So yeah, that's when context space time, or your space is the time where you reevaluate things. You check how you influenced the whole situation, and why did things turn out the way they did. Were you in the right space mentally? All of those factors actually come together and play a very important role in how things end in different relationships. Are you like that person that goes in and out of relationships as well? So in that phase, that's where you can actually do a proper evaluation of everything. And then the final phase, or the final two phases that I'd like to talk about, is the self-love phase. I personally think that in order for you to receive and to give love, you must first give love to thyself. Thyself, not meaning other forms of sexual love, etc., but I mean like being considerate, getting a small skincare routine, spending time alone, journaling, being in prayer, being around people that love you, visiting friends, reconnecting with people that you lost contact with, just so that you go back to living again. Because at the end of the day, when you were in whatever you're in, the relationship that you were in, you were not alive. You lived for that, and that's what love tends to do to people. You wither away, you lose your moral standards, you lose your values, and the only thing that actually really counts by then is the relationship that you're in. Well, that's how I am. Fortunately, not everybody's like that. People still know how to keep a balance, etc. And then once you've come out of the self-love phase, then this is where you can establish, like I said, you do an analysis, an evaluation, and you check where you went wrong, and not so much focusing on where your ex-partner went wrong, but where you went wrong. Didn't you set enough boundaries? Boundaries are like very important, because if you set boundaries, then you set boundaries for yourself. And if you develop self-love, you learn how to not disappoint yourself. Yes, it's crazy that you'll disappoint everybody around you, but if you disappoint yourself, then you get to disappoint everyone else around you. So it's very important for you to be self-aware, to love yourself more, and also to set boundaries for yourself, so that you don't carry over the same routine into your next relationship, should you plan to have a next relationship. I got asked earlier today, what is like the safest time to actually heal? I believe 6 months. Is half a year is quite a lot, considering that we're human, we've got hormones, but it depends from person to person. Some people can just move on from things in a flash. Some of us take longer, and some of us want to love and cherish ourselves and be self-aware and fix mistakes wherever it needs be. So we're not all the same, but I think the safest is 6 months. Some say the safest is 3 months. So like I say, it depends from person to person. I think that's why I actually discovered different things. I did a lot of research, and look, I've spoken to a therapist as well about all of this, and like I say, it just depends from person to person. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, it was just like pressing to actually express this. But yeah, those are the 5 phases. I'll also leave them in the description bar, so that you can go through that, and I'll probably reference some books that you can read that will help you with dealing with a breakup and being able to find love again and moving on swiftly without any baggage being carried over into the next relationship. Thank you.